What is my favorite question in these Q&A videos? I have no idea. AlmightyElemental asks, if 42 is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, what does that make 43? Do you really want to ask me a question like that? Do you care? I don't think so. What game would you most like to be seen made into an MMORPG? I'm guessing Fallout, Stalker, Hellgate London, maybe Secret of Mana sort of thing. Secret of Mana would be pretty cool. Would I want Final Fantasy? Not really. Oh, Avernum would be pretty cool. There's a number of different games that would make great MMOs. I can't think of the one that I would want to see the most. I'd have to think of all of the games. Oh, maybe number one would be Freelancer. Can you imagine a Freelancer MMO? And not like the stupid jump to light speed that they had in Star Wars. That was awful. That was really bad. Anyway, moving on. AlmightyElemental asks, why do so many people point out when they're the first poster? Does it give you superpowers? Obviously not. Otherwise, they'd use them. He also asks, if they made a full 3D Pokemon MMO combining the main plot of all the main handheld games, would you play it? Probably not. He also asks, how many of your viewers, subscribers can you name off the top of your head? Once again, do you really care? I don't think I want to waste all my viewers' time trying. Luiz8745 asks a question that really isn't going to get much information from me, because obviously he didn't give me very much information, which is why I rated it how I did. Not that I think it's something wrong to ask, but anyway, there's a girl I like. I think she likes me too, but we're completely different. But I don't love her, but I like her, but she's not that pretty. You're lucky your girlfriend's hot and you love her, but I'm confused about mine. Please reply. What am I supposed to say? I have no idea. Okay, moving on. Sorry, guy. Ratchet D asks, do you think the government is doing better without Bush, or is going to get worse? I think the government is going to do better without Bush, for human ethical reasons, if nothing else. I think the deficit is kind of sad that it's going up so much. I don't think that's mostly Obama's fault. But the deficit is kind of a complicated topic. In a way, I kind of think the government, to function properly, has to have at least some deficit. It's all about the strength of the dollar bill and whatnot. It's just kind of confusing, but I've heard some of the arguments, and they say that if we had a reserve, our dollar would be weaker and a couple other things. So there's benefit to having a deficit. I don't remember how it all works out, but somehow I just don't think that the deficit should be what it's at. I think it's either 7 or 9 billion now. Safer7 Sephiroth asks, how do I feel about firearms? Like, when do you think it would be okay to teach a child to shoot? Well, obviously you need to have safety is #1 priority. I think that you need to... I think you can teach a child how to shoot a firearm as soon as they can properly respect it, which is different for different ages. I mean, there's some 25-year-olds out there that I don't think would respect firearms enough to be able to use it, and then there's probably 7-year-olds that would really understand the magnitude of a firearm and be able to handle it. So we'd want to probably pick some time that most likely they were going to respect it, if we're going to create some sort of legislation or something like that. ESW Tag Team asks, what does Sidra work with? Huh? Okay. Ghosty1 asks, say you are poor, a girl forcefully rapes you and makes you pay child support. The way you say it is that now she can have the baby whether or not she wants, 'cause it her choice. Would this be one of the occasions that the male has a word in it what happens? I think what he's saying is, does the male have say in whether a child is born if the male was raped by the female. I still don't. I wouldn't be opposed if legally they gave him some say, but I wouldn't be opposed to them saying that still the woman has say. And somebody else mentioned that there's almost no way that they would force the guy to pay child support if it was a child of rape. I'm not sure about that. Actually, they might still want, because it's not the fault of the child, and I don't know. So it's kind of complicated. I wish I could give a straight answer, but I don't think I can. MordbidDarkness asks, what resolution do your videos get recorded at? 1280 by 720. Hanslacher54 asks, if Liberty City Survival Last Man Standing wins between Claude from GTA 3, Tommy Vercetti, Carl Johnson, and Niko Belic, who would be the last one standing? If you're talking about power, I think that matters about how well armed they are. I guess that would base on which one could survive the most attacks and dish out the most attacks. And honestly, I don't know which one of them would. Probably Niko Belic would not be the one that would win, because they made GTA 4 so realistic that bullets probably hurt him a lot more than, say, Tommy Vercetti. So if we're talking about popularity, I'd probably go with Tommy Vercetti. That was when GTA was really fun. But beyond all that, I'd also probably guess that Tommy Vercetti would win in an actual fight. It's a strange question to ask. AlmightyElemental asks, if they invented VATS in real... I love this, by the way. If they invented VATS in real life, how long do you think it would be before your viewers started complaining that you weren't using it? Probably not long. Probably if I started doing some sort of footage of this, they're like, oh, this Q&A is great, but why aren't you using VATS? I just thought it was a really cute question. AlmightyElemental also asks, what is your favorite board game and why? My favorite board game is the game called Generosity, and it's my favorite because when my mom bought it from a garage sale, it came with everything but the instructions. So I essentially had to figure out how to play the game without instructions, so I made up my own rules. And then it was really fun. I don't know, maybe the original game was really fun, but I had a lot of fun with the game that I had made up, which was probably close to the actual rules. It was really fun. AlmightyElemental also asks, I really want to ask another question, but I can't think of one. What do I do? Seriously, this is when your questions start getting a little bit more annoying. Okay, Koshari asks, I love Steam. How can you not like it? Well, it hogs up system resources. It keeps track of what you do on your computer. Not that much. Just a little bit. And is generally an extraneous application that shouldn't be needed. So, yeah, I embargo it. One-man embargo. Have I ever used Steam? I have... Yes, okay. Right in the beginning, when they just converted to Steam, I used Steam for a little while to play TFC for just a little bit longer, and then I gave up, and I've never gone back to Steam since then. Yeah, I could tell you the whole story about having 3 copies of Half-Life and playing TFC with it, and then when Steam comes out, not being able to relocate the CD keys, and then essentially being ripped off $90-some-odd because I couldn't find the CD keys to Half-Life. Because I shouldn't have to. I already have it installed. Anyway, moving on. There might be some way to find the... Oh, I don't remember. There might be a way to go through the installation or the INI file to get the CD key, but whatever. Okay, Scratch My Bum asks, can I have a cookie? No. ESW Tag Team asks, how gay is my username on a scale of 10? First of all, is gay a bad thing? Second, I'm guessing 4. Because it's not very associative, except for maybe Tag Team with gay. The FMC asks, will I be getting on live? Almost certainly not. He also asks, will you let's play my game called Milo's RPG when it is finished? I have been working on it since June 23rd, 2008. It has 200 hours of gameplay and is 80% finished. Maybe.